and welcome to a very special episode of my channel. Why am I starting like this? That's such a weird way to start a video, right? This is a spoiler review, ending explain, whatever the fuck you want to call it, for Escape Room 2 Tournament of Champions. Pretty much, I'm just about to tell you what happens, okay? So, the movie starts off with this really strange kind of recap of the first. It feels very much like a TV show episode. It's like previously on Escape Room, and it just recaps everything, and it does not feel like the start of a movie, much more like a TV show. Anyway, the main characters are going off to investigate the evil corporation from the first one. Minos, the main character, what's her name? Damn it. Hang on, I've got it written down. Zoey, the main character Zoey, she doesn't like him. She doesn't like him, so she's going after him or something. Then they go to New York because that's where they're situated or something. Like, that's another funny thing about this evil corporation. Everybody knows what it's called and where they're situated and stuff, at least by the end of the film. They're kind of a secret at the start, so fine. Never mind my gripe there. Yeah, they go to New York to investigate this stuff, and then some shit happens. They end up on a train in the New York subway, and then it turns out that the train carriage that they're in separates from the rest of the train, and it's an escape room, baby, and now they're stuck in a train-themed escape room. And, you know, it's cool, it's fun. And there's some new people, there's new members for, like, the escape room. This is a new group for this sequel, including a guy who has a hearing aid, and is kind of like a tough guy and whatever. There's a priest guy, but he's also an alcoholic. There's a woman who can't feel pain. We don't learn that till later, but whatever. There's another woman who is there. I don't know how to describe her. And then the main two characters. Anyway, the tough guy that I mentioned before, we never learn his name because he dies. Before we learn his name, he dies in the train. He gets electrocuted. They have to try and get out of this trap. I was about to say trap. This isn't Saw, this is Escape Room. They're trying to get out of this escape room. And there's, of course, like this elaborate trap, I said it again, set up with all this electricity going around the train and everything. And like everything, it goes way too fast for my little mind to comprehend it, to be honest, at least in terms of trying to guess with them. But eventually they do get out of it and everything. And this leads to, which is it? The bank? No, yes, the bank. This leads to the bank. And this is another elaborate escape room set up with lasers around when they step on specific checkered spots. It's like a chess set on the ground, and lasers come up and get them. Oh no. And nobody dies in this one. They all get out, if I remember correctly. Yes, just in the nick of time. And then this leads to the beach escape room, not trap. And the drunk priest guy sacrifices himself in this one to save the girl who can't feel pain. And everybody else gets out except for the character of Ben from the first one. He falls into like this weird quicksand thing that they got going on, and it's awesome. It's like this weird, it's like liquid, but it's sand, and it's kind of strange. I really love how they set up these kind of the settings of these escape rooms. They look fake, but in a really cool kind of way. Like, you're not supposed to think they look real, but they would look effectively real in a fake way if you were there in real life, if that makes any sense. And it's kind of cool. Anyway, basically all of the main people of this group find one way to exit through a fridge door, but Zoey, the main character, finds another secret way at the top of a lighthouse, which is like, we're not sure. We're thinking like maybe this is an escape out of the entire escape room situation, and the way into the fridge is like to the next escape room. And they have kind of this debate, like, what is the right decision to make here? Because it actually had me on the edge of my seat or whatever. Like, if I'm being honest, I was like, I'm not sure what the right decision there actually is. I feel like I would want to take the lighthouse one and try and escape. But the character, I think her name is Brianna, she argues that you can't cheat the game. And if you're a fan of Saw, much like I am, and these kind of game/trap-based horror movies like this is always kind of the case. Once you try and fuck with the rules and everything, you are next to die. But it turns out that they both just led to the same part, which was the next trap. Though when they first get there, they don't realize this, because they get out and it's like a grate in the street. It looks like it's the New York City streets. But then soon enough, they find out that this was also a trap. And this one, it was pretty elaborate as well. There's like this acid rain that keeps going every single time the traffic lights change. And like, that's kind of like a brutal idea, but that being said, this is very much not a brutal film exactly. Like, it's pretty toned down in terms of violence and all that stuff. But even still, when they're in the danger of like getting killed by this stuff, like you're still in it. At least I was anyway. I feel like a lot of people aren't going to be in it. They're just going to think this is a lame movie and whatever, but I liked it quite a lot. Anyway, Zoe and the two remaining girls who are still alive are pretty much trying to figure out, you know, the different traps. There's this thing with a phone booth that's going on and all this stuff. It's too hard to explain all of the details. They need to get certain numbers and whatever. The point is, Zoe is the only one to survive. She gets into a taxi, which then drops its floor and she falls down into the next room. The other two get acid rained down and melt like the witch from The Wizard of Oz. Okay, and now we are nearing the end of the film, and this is really what I want to talk about. This is what the spoiler kind of review point is for, right? And the ending explain thing, which is what we're doing right here. So she falls into the last room, which is like this weird looking bedroom thing. And it's the creepiest room of the lot. Like I said, this isn't like that. This is a pretty tame movie. It's not very scary. It's not that much of a horror movie, much more of a thriller. But this room looked kind of creepy if you ask me. Anyway, it's soon revealed. Somebody gets revealed into the room where it is Amanda from the first film, who is the character who is played by the woman that's in Daredevil. I forgot that character's name, but like Daredevil's mate, that girl, you know, who died in the first one, but really she just fell and we never really saw what happened from that because again, this is a pretty tame series in terms of violence. So you never really see anybody die officially. Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. And as she says, as she explains, the way that she survived is that you didn't actually see me die. If you didn't see me die, it's not confirmed. You just saw me fall. And that's kind of always the rule in fiction. Like, unless I see your face smashed in repetitively, like in movies and all this stuff, I'm going to assume that you are not dead, depending on the piece of fiction, obviously. If it's not the kind to just bring people back from the dead, then obviously not. But if it's something like this, that's kind of like this kind of teenagey kind of horror thing, you know, you can expect some people to come back to life like this. Anyway, it's explained that this character, Amanda, has been pretty much chosen from the first one as well, much like they're choosing Zoe right now, because she reveals that Minos, the evil corporation Mino, their plan is to recruit Zoe to be their next game planner, escape room maker, whatever it's called, because she's so brilliant and figures out every single thing ever and always does, and she's always one step ahead of everybody. So of course they want her, and yeah, so that's basically why they've been doing this Tournament of Champions round, because these are all winners. And so obviously who is better to choose to make more escape rooms than the people who beat them, right? That's kind of, I get that. That's kind of like an interesting way to look at it. But the flaw here is that I still don't understand what their plan is. Sure, they want to make more escape rooms and they want people who are smart about it, but like, I don't know why they're putting people in these escape rooms in the first place. There's not really a reason. They're just an evil corporation with not much meaning. There's just not any focus on that part, and it's just kind of like, yeah, okay, I don't know, they want to recruit her, sure. Anyway, right after Amanda explains that she is still alive because you never actually saw her die, and that she has also been in charge of creating the escape rooms that they've been in this very film. It is then also revealed that Ben didn't actually die in the beach when he fell into that quicksand stuff. Because again, you didn't actually technically see him stop breathing, you just saw him fall into quicksand. Which maybe means that the priest dude is still alive, but probably not, because who cares about him, right? Anyway, but he is in another room which has like a thick sheet of glass between them, which obviously is like bulletproof or whatever, they can't break it. And then water starts going into that room and he is going to drown, you know? It's typical kind of Saw/escape room shit.
That is typical.
Dude's about to die and she has to basically be blackmailed into agreeing to help and agreeing to be recruited into this thing. But soon enough they find this pipe thing where they can break the glass and everything, and it feels a little bit too easy, right? She also convinces Amanda to come along with her and to not work for Minos, the evil corporation, anymore. And they break the glass and all three of them escape. And they leave. And Here, it was jarring because they just leave, they find a way out into this city-ish looking area. It's kind of like city apartment looking places. And they drop down under like a closing garage door type of thing that like they only have a few seconds left or whatever, and they just make it, of course. But it's here where the next scene, they're literally in a police station, and I'm like, huh? Did they actually just escape? It was actually kind of confusing if I'm being honest. Anyway, but that's it. And they did escape until they decide that they're gonna go back home. This is Zoey and Ben. We're not exactly sure where Amanda went. Whatever, who cares, right? And from here on though, they're talking, and Zoey also figures out what I was just thinking, where it's like, huh? Wasn't this like just way too easy? What the fuck is going on right now? Like, why did it just end here? I was like sitting there thinking that this was just a stupid movie decision. I wasn't thinking it was on purpose, surprisingly, but I was expecting the next part. And the next part was that they go on a plane because they're flying back to wherever they came from, wherever they lived before they went to New York. And it is obviously, right? Everyone saw this coming. It's revealed that the flight that they're on is also an escape room, and it's more of the evil games from the evil corporation Minos. It's more of this shit again. I really hope that Minos is the correct name, by the way. I keep thinking it's Mino or Minos. It says Minos. However you pronounce that. This is going to be another mank situation for anybody who watched my Spiral spoiler review from a month or two ago. Anyway, yeah, so the end of the movie is that basically Ben and Zoey are fucked and they're on another escape room plane, and presumably there's going to be a third one starting with this plane scene. Now, the issue with this plane scene is that this is exactly how the first escape room ended. Okay, I was talking about this with my wife in the car, and she explained that the first one actually ended. Yes, it was a plane, but it was just a simulation, so it's kind of different. But I mean, come on, it's still a fake out plane escape room ending. It's the exact same thing. It blew my mind that they ended it exactly the same way. We're 2 films in and they did the same thing. Like, you'd think that they'd wait till like, you know, if they ever get there, which I imagine they won't, but if they ever got to like, you know, movie 5, maybe you can end it in a similar way and it's like, ooh, it's a cycle, you know, the escape room cycle or whatever. But 2 films in, you could have ended this a slightly different way, I feel like, you know? It was another plain escape room ending. I just found that kind of hilarious because what the fuck? What are you doing? Ending in the exact same way? Yeah, so the evil corporation wanted to recruit Zoey because she's the best at everything and she's so smart. And that's the end of the movie. Basically, I assume they're going to keep trying to recruit her or kill her because who knows? They seem to be happy with either because she's in danger at every single second. And I'm assuming they're actually going to make a villain in the third one. I just like, if they do make a third one, that's my bet. I bet they're going to make kind of like a recognizable actor as the villain, the person behind the evil corporation in part 3. You watch. It'll be like Kate Blanchett or something like that. Or it'll be the dude that plays Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. Although here he did Maze Runner. Because, yeah, again, these escape room movies are exactly like Saw mixed with like the Hunger Games. And that is exactly what this is. It's pure popcorn flick entertainment. And I like it. I like it, to be honest. But I understand it's not like pure cinema and whatever. People aren't going to like this and whatever. But yeah, there you go. I liked this movie. But it was kind of dumb in some ways. Like, I don't know why they want to recruit her. Maybe I'm just stupid and didn't understand that, but but it was fun, and I enjoy watching all these escape rooms and everything, all the elaborate things that they have to figure out, even though I don't quite think it's that realistic that they would figure this shit out in time, especially when they have like 30 seconds and you've got to figure out like this and this and this and this and whatever, and it's like, come on, if that's me, I'm not figuring that shit out, but like, whatever. Again, it's fictionalized, it's a movie and all that stuff, so it's just fun to watch these characters in these very suspenseful situations. And so yeah, that's the end of the movie, and that's the end of the video. Goodbye. But remember, of course, to like and comment and share and subscribe. Do the things, as I like to say. Those are the things that I'm telling you to do. Those things. Okay? Cool. Thank you. And let me know what you thought of Escape Room 2 Tournament of Champions, okay? I'm sure a lot of people are going to think this is lame and whatever. I liked it. Am I dumb? Maybe. Sure. Let me know. And, I don't know what that was, but see me next time.